so the updated 824, a confirmed tornado was located near Shivers, or 15 miles to the southwest of Mendenhall, moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. It is a radar-confirmed tornado, which means there should be a debris signature. We're going to check that out in just a second. This storm is going to be near Panola and Shivers at 8:30, that's just a few minutes from now. Sanatorium D-Low in Mendenhall by 8:40, and McGee and Martinville by 8:45. You should take cover right now. Again, this is a radar-confirmed observed tornado on the ground right now, moving from northern Lawrence County northeastward at 35 miles per hour into Simpson County. And Simpson County. So that is the only place that's being warned for the storm, northern Lawrence, and then Simpson County from now until 9:15. But obviously, this is the area of most concern right now. We're zooming in to the storm with our velocity product, and we're going to do what we've always done here, and we're going to query this velocity, and we're going to show you that we got winds moving in opposite directions right here near the Simpson and Lawrence County line. This is very close to Highway 42 and just to the west of New Hebron in Lawrence County. So that's where we have a tornado. We know this because there should be a debris signature right here on radar, because this is a radar confirmed tornado. So yeah, right there. We're going to back up this over a minute or two, and I'm seeing what may be a debris signature right there, right along Highway 42 north and west of New Hebron, moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So it should be in the vicinity of Shivers and crossing Highway 43 over the next few minutes. It's going to take me just a second, but I'm going to plug in that forward motion into Live IMAX 12, 35 miles per hour, so we can give you some of the estimated arrival times of the storm, because that's the reason we're on the air. We know there's a tornado there, but we want to tell you where it's headed so you can get into your safe spot and stay safe from the storm. So let's, just by looking at the debris signature, we're going to say that the rotation is right here between Highway 42 and 43 near Isaac Newsom Road, just to the south of Shivers. Moving at 35 miles per hour, it's going to be crossing Highway 28 in about 10 minutes, or even less than 10 minutes. It's only about 6 miles away, but moving at 35 miles per hour, it's going to take about 8 to 10 minutes to get there. So you do have a little bit of lead time, but not much time. The whole point is that we're trying to give you enough time to get to where you need to be to stay safe from this storm. If you're in Shivers, hopefully you're already in that safe spot. If you're in New Hebron, I think the storm is just to the north of where you are, but still, just play it safe, get into your safe spot, because New Hebron is in the tornado warned area, but also it's mostly, I'm thinking, in Simpson County. So let's just take a look once again at the velocity here so we can get a good idea of where the rotation is. We saw the debris signature, but let's check out the rotation. And here's the red, and there's the green. You can see how they kind of curl in on each other. Add these two numbers together, you're going to get at least 60, maybe up to 70 mile per hour winds. So it's probably a weak tornado, but a tornado nonetheless. And remember, in Rankin County earlier this evening, we saw a weak tornado, but then it grew in size. We had a rather large debris field eventually just north and west of Pelahatchie earlier this evening between 7:15 and 7:30. There's nothing to say that that couldn't happen again. We've already seen a tornado debris signature, so we know that it's an observed tornado. So you have to treat this as a tornado on the ground, because as of our latest information, that is what's being reported to us. It's in a radar observed rotation, which means it's observed tornado on the ground moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So when does it cross Highway, let's say 13? It is 6 miles or 9 minutes away from doing that. When is it going to cross Highway 49? potentially near the McGee area. So it's about 15 miles away or 24 minutes away from doing that. So you do have some lead time if you live along Highway 49 and near the McGee area in Simpson County. You've got an observed tornado on the ground moving northeast towards your area, and if it stays on the ground, it's going to be 24 minutes or less away from crossing Highway 49 near the McGee area. So we're telling you all this to give you time to get to where you need to be to stay safe from this storm. Now, let's get a close-in look on where the rotation is. As we zoom in, we see some of these streets popping in here. We've already mentioned Highway 43, but we're also looking at DK Mansfield Road, Shivers Road, Stonewall Road, Will Barber Road, JW Road, Bill Smith Road, Oak Grove Road, Hall Pond Church Road, JW Williams Road. If any of these roads sound familiar to you, if you live near them, you're going to be impacted by a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado very soon. In fact, I just want to make sure that that is still the current characterization of this storm. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here, make sure the polygon hasn't updated, and it hasn't, so we likely have not got a new characterization, but I'm just going to query this just to make sure. Yeah, the latest update we have was at 8:24. That was 8 minutes ago when this was still an observed tornado confirmed by radar because of that tornado debris signature. Speaking of which, let's go back and take a look and see if we still have that signature. And unfortunately, I believe we still do. In fact, just like the Rankin County storm, I think it may be getting a little bit more pronounced here. You see some of the brighter shadings there, some greens and whites and potentially blues popping up there. That, I think, is where we have the potential for debris being produced by this storm. Again, it's shifting to the north of New Hebron, right around the county line of Lawrence and Simpson County. So Highway 43, just to the east of there, is where we have the latest tornado debris signature. Let's go ahead and take a look at the the velocity here. And we're looking at that still right around the county line. It looks to me like it's moving more east than north. So just keep that in mind. We usually track these storms out to the northeast. We would assume that it would be moving towards Highway 49 and McGee, but if it's moving more to the east, we're looking at places like Gwenville, potentially in the path of the storm. I don't even think that is, that's not even in the tornado warning. So just another reminder that these warnings, they're not going to be precise. If you live close to a warning area, you should take precautions as well. And that is the case if you live in Gwenville, let's say between there and Shivers, there is a storm that we think may be producing a tornado as we speak, moving across the area to the east and northeast at about 35 miles per hour towards Highway 13 and right along Mount Zion Road towards Highway 541 south of McGee in Simpson County. So we got some populated areas here that this is going to be moving into in Simpson County. We've mentioned McGee, but of course we've also got Sanatorium in the tornado warned area. Let's go back and take a look. It's again right there. If we go back in time, right here is where we had a really good indication of a rotation right there just to the west of New Hebron. This is just about the time the tornado warning was issued. And then if we follow this in time, there you see that rotation is going to be right at about here. And then we go further in time. And to me, it looks like it is moving a little bit more east, right along the county line, moving near Gwenville, right along the edge of that polygon there. But again, this is not going to be precise. Let's go ahead and take a look at our debris signature. And again, if there's a debris signature there, I think it is still right along that county line, almost moving directly off to the east there, although it's messy. I don't see anything that's extremely obvious here, but let's, again, go ahead and treat this as if it's a tornado on the ground and go ahead and take cover if you're anywhere in this area. Gwenville up to Shivers, along Hardy Williams Road, Cone Road, Shivers Road, Stonewall Road, and then back up towards Highway 28, Highway 13, Bill Welch Road, and then transitioning northeast of there. You see all of these communities and the roads and the towns and the cities that are popping up there. If you see anything on the screen, that you live close to, that you're familiar with, if you're in this area, you are under a tornado warning and you need to take shelter right now. Let's go ahead and take a look and see just the velocity here. And we're going to take a look at our hail, see if there's any hail tracks. Nope, I don't see anything in terms of any significant hail. So I don't think we're seeing a lot of hail with the storm. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lightning with it as well. We got a few lightning strikes, but I'm not seeing a big cluster of lightning strikes. Do you have an update, Austin?
Yes, the Weather Service is stating that the tornado debris signature, like Ken was mentioning, they have noticed it has dissipated as well.
Okay,
They're
good.
not noticing it as strong as it was before. Also, another update from them, the tornado watch has been extended. It was set to expire at 9 o'clock for those far eastern and southeastern counties. That has now been extended to 11 o'clock. So as we can see, the environment, tornadoes are still possible, and these storms are still wanting to rotate. Ken, do you want me to do a storm track?
Go ahead.
Okay, we'll do a storm track on where we think this rotation is now, as there is still a tornado warning in effect for McGee. We'll do a storm track on this storm as well. Let me just check and make sure the warning hasn't been updated. So still moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. So we'll track it out from where that rotation seems to be the most pronounced. Let me get a track on here, zoom in just a little, and then here we'll get a track going. Moving off towards the northeast at 35 miles an hour. I need to change that. Get that track put in properly. We're giving you the right times. We'll just extend it on out. So at the latest time from the Weather Service, McGee is set to get this at 8:57. This potentially tornadic storm will be moving over McGee at 8:57, a little after 9 o'clock through Maddox, and at 9:12 in Mize. And we're still seeing these reds and greens coming close together, which indicates there could be some possible rotation. Either way, that tornado warning is still in effect. It looks like the Weather Service just trimmed that back just a little. So let's see see if I can get an update on that new warning, see if they've changed the speed of this at all.
It's still observed, radar
Still
confirmed.
a confirmed tornado moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. Okay, so they're still saying it is a confirmed tornado. You need to be taking this seriously. If you are in this red polygon, this includes near Mendenhall or southwest of Mendenhall, and this includes eastern Simpson County. I'll put a track on that to show the latest. So the rotation's still north of Gwenville, roughly, and that's going to move off towards the northeast at 35 miles an hour. So McGee is still getting it right around 9 o'clock. Maddox still a little after 9 o'clock. I can zoom in a little, or first we'll go back and look at the radar. You can see these bright colors showing up on the radar. There's some heavy rain falling in these storms right now. Also some gusty winds, even if there isn't a tornado on the ground. We can see what those estimated winds are from the radar. Up 50-mile-per-hour winds. Now this is at the radar's height where it's scanning, but these winds are making it to the ground, so you're likely experiencing some gusty winds, if nothing else, there in Simpson County. Also look at the lightning tracker as well to see if we see any. No lightning showing up on the radar at this time, but we still do have that tornado warning, and that is in effect for at least, let's get the latest time on that tornado warning.
8:45.
8:45. So the warning is at least set to go for another 6 minutes. I haven't seen anything about whether.
Excuse me, 9:15 is the expiration of the warning.
Okay, so now it is 9:15, where the Weather Service is keeping this tornado warning going off towards the north and east at 35 miles an hour. You can see this area here where these greens are meeting these reds. That's where that potential rotation is. Also, we'll take a look at the reflectivity products as well. Just once again, just showing that heavy rain that's ongoing across the area, continuing these storms. Everyone has seen some heavy rain where these storms have moved through. I can zoom out just a little and see if we got any more warnings ongoing right now. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that's just moved out of the Macomb area. Looks like they just trimmed that warning back. It also has a tornado possible signature on it. It is not warned for a tornado at this time. I need to move that box, but it goes until 9 o'clock. And this includes northwestern Walta County or Walthall County. So that's our far southeastern county. Let me just take a quick look at that and move this out of the way and see if we see any rotation potential with this, as it is marked for the tornado possible tag. Not really seeing anything. We do have some reds and greens close here, but right now that is just set for a severe thunderstorm warning. Ken, do you want to take back and talk about the tornado warning?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it. Let's go back and take a look at Live IMAX 2 full screen, and we're going to zero in on where this rotation is. And as of the latest update that came out about 4 minutes ago at 8:37 from the National Weather Service, they had still a confirmed tornado, which was near Panola, or 8 miles to the southwest of McGee. So there's McGee, 8 miles to the southwest, is right in about this area. So it's right in about that area. Now, that was about 4 minutes ago. So it continues to move off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So it is tracking off in this direction. Again, towards McGee. We've been talking about McGee now for several minutes in relation to this storm. I think it's on the southern end of this tornado polygon. But if you're anywhere within the polygon, you need to take shelter right now. There's a reason that they issue these polygons because these storms don't move exactly always in a straight line. Sometimes they veer left, sometimes they veer right just a little bit. So it's not going to go necessarily right down the middle of the cone or the polygon. So keep that in mind. Generally, though, we're looking at this moving towards Highway 49 and generally towards the McGee area over the next several minutes. If it's moving to the east at about northeast at about 35 miles per hour, when is it going to be near McGee? Well, we're going to track this out for about 15 minutes. And McGee shows up at about 8:52. Current time is 8:42. So that gives you 10 minutes or less. I want to emphasize the or less portion there, because whatever you're seeing is going to be delayed for a minute or two. And sometimes these storms can pick up forward motion or momentum. A lot of the storms tonight we've seen moving at 55 miles per hour. This one at 35, but it could pick up some speed. If it gets a little bit faster, that means it arrives at these places a little bit earlier than predicted. So don't wait 10 minutes before you get into your safe spot. If we think it's going to arrive in McGee at 8:52, go ahead and do it now, or certainly within the next 5 minutes. Because remember, the latest characterization of this storm is that it is an observed tornado, which means it's a tornado on the ground. It is a radar confirmed tornado. Now, radar confirmed means that a debris signature has been noted. So let's go back and take a look at our debris indicator. Yep, there it is. It wasn't as clear before. It is crystal clear now. So this is definitely a tornado that is on the ground. Remember, we saw it tracking pretty much right along the county line from Lawrence back over into Simpson County, from north of New Hebron back over to near Gwenville. Well, it is now on the north side of that county line. So it's in Simpson County, but there you see that debris signature that clearly shows up north of Gwenville around Highway 13. So this is damage being produced by a tornado on the ground. This is, hopefully it's just trees, but we don't know what it is. It could be parts of structures, it could be vehicles, it could be parts of vehicles, it could be tree limbs, it could be portions of trees that are being lofted up into the atmosphere by a tornado. What we do know is that there is some type of debris that's being lofted into the atmosphere by the storm. That happened at 8:39. Current time is 8:44, so that was just 5 minutes ago. So let's go back and take a look at Live IMAX 2 full screen, and we'll show you, we'll go forward in time, excuse me, to the current time, so we can see if we can continue to see that debris signature. And notice at about 8:42, we do see a debris signature, but it's not as good as the one before that. So it's right there between H.B. Smith and Mount Zion Road. And then we go to current time. And if there's a debris signature, it is less of that, but it is still right there, I believe, north of Mount Zion Road. So let's get a closer look in. There you see the circles of the debris signature with time, so you can see the motion of the storm moving northeast at about 35 miles per hour. And the latest debris signature that we had was north of Mount Zion Road. This is just north of James Berry Road Mount Zion Road, but south of Bill Blair Road and moving towards McCallum Road in southern Simpson County. So that was the latest debris indicator. But remember, what you're seeing here is a minute or two old. This is what happened in the past with this storm. So just project this out a little bit farther off to the northeast, and we could see a tornado on the ground farther northeast around Varner Road and Wilson Floyd Road, moving towards Highway 541 and eventually towards Highway 49. It looks to be on a path that would take it just to the south of the McGee area, but again, too close for comfort. If you live anywhere in and around McGee and down towards Coates, you need to take shelter right now. There is a tornado that has been on the ground, radar confirmed, so it's an observed tornado. It's been producing debris, and it's moving towards you at about 35 miles per hour. We'll track it off towards Highway 541. It is 3 miles or 5 minutes or less away from crossing 541, and it is 6 miles or less than 10 minutes away from crossing Highway 49, close to or just to the south of the McGee area. Again, shave a few minutes off of this time because what you're seeing here is just a few minutes old. Now, we've got an update on our debris indicator, and the latest debris indicator doesn't show anything. So that's good news. It looks like that it may have lifted, but we don't know if that's a temporary situation or if this is going to cycle back up and put down yet another tornado. So I don't know that the characterization of this has changed from observed to radar indicated. Let's go ahead and take a look. There's a new warning. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and query this one. This is the one that we've been on the air for. Okay, the latest update came out at 8:37 for right now, even though we don't see a debris signature anymore, still tornado observed, still a radar confirmed tornado with this one as it moves off to McGee towards at about 35 miles per hour. So there's another warning here. Let's take a look at this one. This one is a huge warning. Let's query this one. This is a tornado warning until 9:45, and I'm just going to read off the latest from the National Weather Service. This warning was issued at 8:45 about 3 minutes ago for western Jasper County, southeastern Simpson County, Smith County, Covington, Jones, and Jefferson Davis counties. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near McGee, moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. It's a radar indicated rotation. And again, radar indicated. So near McGee, let's go ahead and just take a look at the reflectivity here. And we will take a look at the velocity to see if we can pinpoint where any kind of rotation is. So the one moving towards McGee, we can see kind of where that is down south near Mount Zion Road. But they're also saying that there's a different rotation potentially. Yeah, there it is. So did you see the radar update? The arm of the radar came through, and as it did, we can see where that rotation is now. So it was near McGee, but it's moving to the east. Let's see how quickly this is moving. This one is moving east at 40 miles per hour. So as it moves to the east at 40 miles per hour, it's now near the Maddox area, and it's going to be moving into the counties a little bit farther to the east of Simpson County. That would be Smith County. So it's mostly moving into Smith County. So let's take a look at just that warning, and we're going to plug in 40 miles per hour to Live IMAX 12. And we're going to take this from the Maddox area. Remember, that's east of McGee, from Maddox to the edge of this warning polygon. That's going to take it the next 40 minutes or so, moving at 40 miles per hour. And these are the places that are going to be in the path of this storm. Cohay at about 8:57, Center Ridge at 9:08, Silverina at 9:18, Bay Springs at 9:25, and Lewin at about 9:30. So remember, we have two separate rotations now. One is a radar indicated rotation east of McGee, moving to the east, northeast at about 40 miles per hour. The other is an observed tornado that's actually moving towards McGee at about 35 miles per hour. So bottom line is, if you live in and around McGee, if you live south of there, east of there, you need to take shelter right now. Some dangerous weather is going to be moving through over about the next 30 minutes or so. This entire line is likely going to be severe with the potential for damaging winds, some small hail, and some dangerous lightning and heavy rain. But we're going to be on the lookout for rotating winds coming out of this storm at least a couple of different locations. So just because we have 2 warnings now, I think it's probably a good idea to, once again, Austin, to split up the work here and for me to talk about one of the storms and you talk about the other. That's because of that, we won't have to switch our numbers in Live IMAX 12. My storms are moving at 35. Yours is going to be moving at 40. So I'm going to give you the newest warning until 9:45, the one that's moving from east of McGee back over to Smith County. So that's the newest warning. And I'm going to take the oldest warning, which is the one for just Simpson County. So I'm going to talk about that for just a minute or two, and then I'm going to send it back over to Austin so he can talk about that cell a little bit farther to the east. But what you're looking at is the original warning we came on the air for. Let's check out the latest with this. Tornado warning until 9:15. Let's see if we got an update. We have not gotten an update since 8:37. So it's still characterized as an observed tornado. But let's check out our debris signature to see if we've got anything with the storm. And again, it just doesn't look anything that's obvious. Now, it was obvious when we had the storm along Highway 13 in the extreme southern part of the county. That was at 8:41, and then it moved off to the northeast. But again, we didn't see anything terribly obvious with this. But again, it may be moving very close to McGee right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at our velocity here, and everything looks to be moving in the same direction now in the McGee area. So I'm going to send it back over to Austin because I think the more prominent storm right now is the one right there, which is transitioned from Simpson into Smith County. We've got a rotation right there just to the east of Maddox, moving towards Cohay. That's associated with the newest warning that's going to be in effect mostly for Smith County until 9:45. So because of that, I'll send it back over to Austin.
All right, so this storm is moving off towards the north and east at 40 miles an hour. So I'll put a storm track on that just to point out where it is. That's where these reds are interacting with the greens here, northeast of Maddox, entering eastward. So we'll track that out on. We'll give you the next several minutes here. North and east, I'll do more than that. 8:58, it's going to hit Cohay. If there is a tornado on the ground, Cohay, you need to be in your safe spot right now, as well as anyone else that's under this tornado warning. Let me zoom out really quickly here, and then we'll give you that track a little further out. Looks like Center Ridge. It'll move off towards your north and west. Let me clear this off. We'll get a new track going here, going through Cohay and north and west of Center Ridge. Cohay 8:58, Center Ridge at 9:09, and then Raleigh at 9:11. Let me pull that box back up just to give you some perspective about where we are in central Mississippi, actually moving towards the Pine Belt right now. And you can see there it is, moving out of McGee and into near Cohay and Center Ridge. Let me zoom in just to give you some ideas about where the rotation is, or the most likely area for rotation. County line or County Road 65, County Road 503 South, County Road 108, County Road 106, all those county roads. This is going to be impacting you. This potentially tornadic storm will be moving off towards the north and east, so you need to be in your safe place. Okay, just got a new update on this scan, still showing those bright greens and bright reds. That's indicating where that potential rotation is, heading off towards the north and east near Cohay. And those county roads, County Road 110, County Road 106, it's located over County Road 71 right now, so need to be weather aware there. I'll put a new track on it really quick just to show that going off towards the north and east. Still Cohay right around 9 o'clock, Center Ridge 9:08, and Silverina, if I'm pronouncing that properly, 9:18, continuing off towards the north and east. Let me see if we see
canceled the warning for Simpson. So the only
Okay.
warning we have now is for that one that you're on.
Okay, and it looks like there may be a debris signature popping up there southwest of Kohei. Do you see that, Ken?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we do have a debris signature popping up southwest of Kohei with this potentially tornadic storm. With this debris signature, it does appear to be as there is a tornado on the ground. If you're in this warning, either way, you need to take it seriously, especially in Kohei. This storm will be moving, it's moving very quickly off towards the north and east. Take it seriously. There's potentially a tornado on the ground. Radar is picking up on something in the atmosphere that shouldn't be there, and likely it is debris as shown by this. We'll keep an eye on that debris detector as we go through the next several minutes. Let me just reset really quick with this tornado watch just to be sure that I'm giving the correct information. Okay, it says at 8:54, a confirmed tornado was located near McGee. So this is picking up, the Weather Service has also noticed the tornado debris signature. So this is a radar confirmed tornado moving towards Kohei. It's going to keep on that northeasterly track. Let me make sure the speed is still moving at 40 miles an hour off towards the northeast. This is another potentially dangerous situation here. If there is a tornado on the ground moving off towards the northeast, we put a new track on it moving north and east. It's going to go right past Center Ridge, it looks to be. Let me get rid of this. 907 at Center Ridge, 917 at Silverina. And we'll zoom in and give you those roads one more time just to be sure that we've got the most accurate. Okay, it's right over County Road 106, eventually moving to County Road 102. Kohei, it's moving right in your neck of the woods right now. You need to be in your safe place if you aren't already, as well as everyone else that is in this tornado polygon right now, mainly impacting Smith County at the current time, moving off to the east. And that will eventually be out of the WJTV viewing area. But for now, Smith County, you are seeing the brunt of this storm and need to be weather aware and taking this seriously as it is now a radar confirmed tornado right over Kohei. Ken, do you have any new information?
That's it. Good job analyzing the storm. It's the only warning that we have now. Remember, we were going to split up the duties. I was going to take the Simpson County storm. He was going to take the newest one. Well, the Simpson County storm didn't look as good. That warning was canceled. So now the only warning that we've got is the newest one, still going to be in effect until about 9:45. And it's because of this portion of the line right here. So it's in, let's say, southwestern Smith County, moving to the north and east at about 40 miles per hour. And we did see that tornado debris signature. So the characterization of this has changed. This is now, once again, an observed tornado. It is radar confirmed because of that debris signature. So once again, unfortunately, we've said this many times tonight, there is definitely a tornado on the ground that is producing damage. It happened in Rankin County. It's happened most recently in Simpson County, and now we're looking at the same thing in Smith County. So let's go ahead and take a look at Live IMAX 2 full screen. We're going to track this storm for those folks out ahead of the storm that can get to safety. We want you to do that as the storm is approaching your area. So we're looking at the velocity product right now, which is the winds at cloud level, the wind speed, and the wind direction. So we know that it is moving in opposite directions because we got different colors there indicating that. And it right now is near Kohei. See the negative and the positive there. That means winds moving in opposite directions. So that's well established. Let's go ahead and take a look at the debris signature. And it is still there. This is the best indication of where that tornado was over the past minute or two. And we're just going to stay right here on our debris signature because with the velocity, we're trying to pick out exactly where the rotation might be by looking at the winds. Well, by looking at the debris indicator, we know exactly where it is because that's where it's on the ground producing debris, unfortunately. So let's go. We'll put this in the middle of the screen. I'm going to go back in time. And okay, right there, that's our first debris signature. And I believe Austin was the first to pick up on that right there to the southwest of Kohei in Smith County. This was at 8:55. That was 5 minutes ago. We'll go to the next frame. And just to the south of Kohei, we've got another debris signature, which is more pronounced. And then we'll go to current time. And once again, a very clear and obvious debris signature is right there. So by looking at those circles there, you can see the track of the storm. Check it out. It's moving in this direction. You see that? It's moving to the northeast, and we know it's moving at about 40 miles per hour. So because we can see where it's going, we can see exactly where it is right now, we're going to continue to project this out at about 40 miles per hour. And if it's right there, right around Smith County Road number 77, it's going to be crossing Highway 35 to the north and west of Center Ridge in less than 5 minutes. Remember, you have to shave a couple minutes off these times because everything that you're seeing here is going to be delayed by a minute or two. So less than 5 minutes crossing Highway 35. Let's go ahead and track it out a little bit farther. This tornado on the ground is right there near Smith County Road number 77, moving towards Highway 35, and eventually it's going to be moving towards Highway 37. It's about 5 miles or 7 minutes away, and as I say that, we've got an update on our debris indicator. The next frame has come in, so again, we're going to circle where the debris is being produced. So this has been on the ground now for several minutes, from 8:55 to the current time is 2 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's been on the ground for at least 7 minutes, producing damage, producing debris as it is quickly approaching Highway 35. So it'll be crossing there over the next minute or so, then crossing Highway 37 near or just to the north of Center Ridge in less than 4 minutes. If you are in Center Ridge in Smith County, you need to already be in your safe spot. And hopefully you can watch us there from your safe spot. Our WJTV 12 News app has our streaming live coverage there, so you don't have to sit in front of a television. You can take us with you to your safe spot. Do that now if you live in Center Ridge, because there is a tornado on the ground that is moving in your direction. Let's go ahead and track this out farther to the north and east past Center Ridge. We're going to draw out a cone this time over the next 15 minutes. And again, because we're zoomed in so closely, we're not going to get a whole bunch of communities that are going to pop into this cone here, but definitely Center Ridge is one community that this storm is going to be passing close to over the next few minutes. This is estimating that it should be there at about 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. The current time is 3 minutes after 9. So again, couple minutes and the storm is going to be in your area. Let's take a look at the newest frame of our debris indicator, and debris now being produced right along Highway 35. Let's zoom out, and this is going to be between, almost halfway between Mize and Raleigh along Highway 35. Highway 35 that connects Raleigh to Highway 28 near Mize. Right in the middle there, about halfway in between, is where we have a tornado that's crossing the highway, or it did cross over the past minute or two. Hopefully there are no cars on this highway right now, because cars and mobile homes really don't stand a chance with storms like this. Most injuries and fatalities come from vehicles and from mobile homes. So that's why we say don't be in a car when a storm like this is passing through, and try to get out of that mobile home to a nearby sturdy structure. You should do that immediately if you live in Center Ridge. Austin, do you have some more information?
New tornado warning.
Okay.
Jefferson Davis and Covington counties.
Okay, we got another tornado warning.
Kim, before you do that, just for viewers that are joining us you're muted. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
okay.
I can hear you now.
For viewers that are just joining us on the CW for WJTV News at 9, we are continuing our severe weather coverage. We've had ongoing severe storms and tornado warnings. That's what Ken's talking about now. And there's some new tornado warnings that have just been issued. Ken, do you want to take those, or you want me to look at them?
You take the newest one, and
Okay.
I'm going to stay on this one moving through Smith County.
Okay, so for those of you just joining us, we're continuing that severe weather coverage, but this new tornado warning is for our southern counties in Jefferson Davis County as well as Covington County. Let me see if I can see. This one I do not believe from the Weather Service. Let me pull up the warning information just so we can see. This one is not radar confirmed. It's just a severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado. It is moving to the northeast at 55 miles an hour. These storms have really started moving, so we'll put a track on it. It says it's located over Bassfield or 9 miles southeast of Prentice. So let's see if we can find this track and find this rotation, and I will put a track on it at 55 miles an hour southeast of Prentice. Let me move this out of the way. Let's see. There's Bassfield. Okay, Bassfield, this looks to be the rotation right here. We've got these bright greens mixing with these reds. So let's put a track on it, moving off towards the northeast at 55 miles an hour. So if you're in this warning, you need to take this seriously and you need to get in your safe place immediately. Cantwell Mill at 9:10, Dean at 9:13, Williamsburg at 9:20, and then Collins at 9:23. This is the most likely area of rotation here. It's at the bottom of this warning. See these bright greens with these reds. That's where this radar is picking up on the potential for some rotation, at least in the upper levels. Now this one is not radar confirmed like the other storm, the Simpson County storm we've been keeping, or the Smith County storm we've been keeping up with. But now Ken, I'm going to send it back to you for the update on that storm.
All right, thank you, Austin. I appreciate you're going to stay on that storm a little bit farther to the south. It is radar indicated, but this one that I'm tracking farther to the north is confirmed, and it's been on the ground now since about 5 minutes before 9 o'clock. The current time is about 9:07, so we're looking at this being on the ground for about the last 10 to 12 minutes, and it appears to still be on the ground because take a look at this. We've got another debris signature right there on our radar. Our debris indicator still indicating that we've got things being lofted into the atmosphere as this now approaches Center Ridge. And I do want to point something out. We mentioned this before, that these storms don't necessarily move in a straight line. Yes, it is moving generally off to the northeast, and this one is moving at about 40 miles per hour, but it took a little bit of a right turn here. So moving more east than northeast, and unfortunately that is taking it right into Center Ridge. So that's the reason I kind of pulled it away from Austin, because this is a populated town, of course, and it looks like a tornado headed directly into it. So because of that, I want to examine this storm more closely. Let's go ahead and take a look at Live IMAX 2 full screen. I do see, though, that the latest frame of our debris indicator, while it may still be showing some debris, not as much, and that is right over the community of Center Ridge. They are now transitioning east of Highway 37. But remember, I said this before, straight line, not necessarily in a straight line, kind of looked like it was moving off to the northeast, and then look what happened there. It kind of changed direction just a little bit and moving more to the east, closer to Center Ridge. So that's why we say if you're in or near a community that it's moving towards, you need to take shelter immediately, because maybe it may look like it's moving in one direction and it may switch up just a little bit, which I think this one may have done here in Smith County. Nonetheless, I think it is a good sign that we're not seeing any obvious debris signature on the latest frame of this debris indicator. So it may have lifted, but we don't know if that's a temporary situation or it may put down another tornado. I do think a tornado was likely on the ground here from about 8:55 until about 8 minutes after 9 o'clock through Smith County, covering, let's see how many miles here. This is covering about 10 miles. So could have been on the ground for a good 10 to 15 minutes, covering about 10 miles over Smith County. Of course, we're not going to know any of this information for sure until the National Weather Service is able to go out and survey damage created by these storms, and they're likely going to do that over the next couple of days. Unfortunately, there's going to be several areas to survey in Rankin County, Simpson County, now in Smith County, and there may be some other places as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our velocity here, and as we do, we can clearly see how this is now transitioned to the east of Center Ridge. We'll back the velocity up a little bit, see if we can see if it's weakening, and it does to me appear like it is weakening. So another good sign. We're not seeing debris anymore, and with the velocity, it looks like it is weakening just a bit. Let's take a look at just the reflectivity, which is just the radar. Still seeing a lot of heavy rain here. I doubt that we're seeing a lot of lightning strikes. Believe it or not, I've turned on the lightning. We're not seeing anything. There's no lightning strikes being indicated here. Small hail, heavy rain, no lightning, and it looks to me like a weakening or lifting tornado just to the east of Center Ridge. But do not let your guard down, because even though it may have lifted temporarily, that doesn't mean that it's not going to put down another storm. And this area, as we head into Jasper County around Bay Springs, is still under a tornado warning. So you need to play it safe. Stay in your safe spot until we can tell you that the storm is past you or that it is weakened and the warning has been canceled. We cannot say that yet if you live east of Center Ridge or east of Highway 37. Now, I just noticed that our polygon has changed a little bit, so because of that, we know that there has been an update from the National Weather Service on the storm. So let's go ahead and query this once again. And they're still calling it a radar-confirmed tornado, although I did not see a debris signature with that latest frame. We'll go back and look at it once again. But this is the latest information as of 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. So this update came out 1 minute ago. This from the National Weather Service. Tornado warning remains in effect until 9:45 for western Jasper, southeastern Smith, and northeastern Covington County and northwestern Jones counties. At 9:09, a confirmed tornado was located over Center Ridge or near Raleigh, moving to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. It is a radar-confirmed tornado, and also some heavy rain and less than penny-sized hail may be produced with the storm. So they did trim the polygon here, and I can tell you that if you are now to the west of Center Ridge, if you're in the Raleigh area, if you're in Cohay, you are in the all clear. Remember, the tornado debris signature started just to the south of Cohay, but right now, if you live in Mize, Cohay, or Raleigh, you're in the clear. You're not in the warning anymore. And really, I think the rotating part of this, the tornado, is going to be east of Highway 37 in Center Ridge. So even if you're in Center Ridge, even though a tornado may have come through and it's still raining there, I think the worst of it is moving away from you. It's transitioning to the east at about 40 miles per hour. But that still means if you live east of there, you're still under the gun for a tornado moving through over the next several minutes as it quickly approaches the Jasper County line. So we're going to zoom in to that area south of Highway 18 and between Highway 37 and Highway 531 of east central Smith County. And there you see some of these roads popping in here. Several county roads, number 19, 78, 99, and 80 east, and County Road number 34. All of those county roads are going to be in the path of this storm over the next several minutes. And remember, it's still characterized as a radar-confirmed observed tornado on the ground east of Center Ridge, moving towards the Jasper County line. So eventually it's going to be moving towards Highway 15 and the Bay Springs area, moving in that direction at about 40 miles per hour. If the storm is here, it's going to be crossing the county line into Jasper County in about 10 minutes, and it's going to be crossing Highway 15, hopefully south of Bay Springs, and not a direct hit on Bay Springs, but could be south of Bay Springs in 12 minutes or less. Before I send it back over to Austin to talk about the other warning, I want to take a look at the debris signature because, again, it's still characterized as an observed tornado. That would be because of a debris signature, and this was several minutes ago. This is when it was moving across Center Ridge and now east of there. So if there is a debris signature, I think it's a small one, and it's going to be right in and about this area, approaching County Road number 99. So as we zoom in, it's north of County Road number 78, approaching County Road number 99. That was our potential latest debris signature from the storm, moving east at about 40 miles per hour. So when is it going to be crossing the county line? In just a few minutes, and it's going to be in the vicinity of Bay Springs just a few minutes after that. I'm thinking 7-8 minutes at the most is all you're going to have to get to your safe spot if you live in and especially south of Bay Springs in west central Jasper County. Go ahead and do it now. It's still considered an observed tornado on the ground, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour towards that Jasper County line. Now, for more information on the other storm, we'll send it back over to Austin.
Ken, take a look at that Bassfield tornado warning just for a second. The Weather Service was pointing out some rotation east of there, but also some up near Collins. And this whole area is under a tornado warning right now. You can see we've got reds and greens going going line to line all through this warning. And we usually, this is not unusual for squall lines whenever the storms are a part of the same line. Ken, are you seeing just east of Bassfield?
East of Bassfield,
okay.
I definitely see something there. So the other area that you're watching is around Collins?
Yes, they're watching around Collins, and both of those are under tornado warnings right now.
All right, so there may be two separate areas that are rotating here along this line. I would definitely track out that one north of Melba and east of Bassfield.
Okay.
That for sure is a rotation, and just keep an eye on the Collins area.
Okay, so these are moving northeast at 55 miles an hour still. So we'll do a track east of Bassfield for that storm that is currently moving through Jefferson Davis County. Let me get a track on it really quick here. Most likely area of rotation just somewhere east of Bassfield. Let me zoom out. We'll put the track on it. Moving off towards the north and east, going through this tornado warned area. Seminary at 9:27, Eminence at 9:32, and Oak Bowery at 9:35. Let me also zoom in really briefly here near Morris, where it looks like this storm would be rotating. Near Morgan Lane, Gum Swamp Road. Let me zoom in a little more. McVeigh Road. You can see if I can get a few more roads. It's not populating any more roads. But if you are in Jefferson Davis County right now, or Covington County, this is about to exit Jefferson Davis County and move over into Covington County. Let me go back to the reflectivity as well. See some very heavy rain. Ken looked at the lightning earlier. Not much lightning with these storms at this time either. I can see it doesn't look like we're seeing any debris signatures down here with this cell, so that's good news, but we still need to treat it as if there is a tornado on the ground. You can still see that area of strong rotation just east of Bassfield, southeast of Bassfield, going down towards Morris. I'm going to do a track on that once again, just to be sure that everyone's aware of the path of this storm. Really, the only named town in this area is Seminary at 9:29. And let me zoom up here to Collins, and we'll take a look at it. As the Weather Service did mention the potential for some rotation near Collins, and it is in this tornado warning right now. So if you're in Collins, go ahead and get to your tornado safe place, because these storms along this squall line, it doesn't take much for a quick tornado to spin up and cause some damage. So let's look at Collins at the velocity up here. Once again, if it was through Collins, it would likely be off to the east of Collins, which is where we see those reds and greens lining up. I'll put a track on this as well, going off towards the north and east. It's going to be heading towards Laurel at that same speed as the other storm was. Hebron at 9:28, So-So at 9:36, Laurel, if it holds together and this warning is extended, 9:43, Hawks at 9:47, and Sandersville at 9:51. Actually, let me see where the warning runs out at here. Okay, Laurel is not included in the warning right now, but the northwestern part of the county is. So we'll keep tracking this Bassfield storm down here, because it does look to be the best chance for a storm to be rotating. Just because it's rotating doesn't mean it is producing a tornado, but whenever you're under a tornado warning and you see that rotation signature like that, where the greens and the reds are lining up, we're getting those brighter colors, we need to treat it as if it is a tornado. Now, Kim, we'll send things back over to you.
All right, just monitoring, of course, Chad from the National Weather Service, and they are concerned about Bay Springs because it looks like that circulation that is moving from Smith eastward at 40 miles per hour into Jasper County now looks to be moving right into the Bay Springs area. So I have not seen a debris signature with this over the past couple of scans, which I think is good, but there's still rotation here. Circulation indicated by Doppler radar by Live IMAX 12 that we've got a rotating storm that could produce a tornado. It already has. We know that for a fact because we have seen debris signatures all across Smith County with this storm. So even though we haven't seen any clear debris indicator over the past couple of stands, doesn't mean that it couldn't still be on the ground here, and we need to think about as such. We need to consider that this is still an observed tornado. That's what the latest warning says, and it's headed right into Bay Springs. So get into your safe spots. Hopefully you're already there in Bay Springs. If you're east of there, you need to do it sooner rather than later. Let's go ahead and take a look at Live IMAX 2 full screen. We're on the velocity product here, which shows us the wind speed and direction at cloud level. This is how we're able to see that circulation. And what we're looking at here is the winds that are kind of moving in, rotating in on each other. These green areas here, that's wind moving toward the radar sites, and the red is moving away. And you can kind of see just by looking at it that we've got rotating winds, a circulation right there, right over Bay Springs. So that's where our tornado is, if it is still on the ground. Now, is it on the ground? Well, we know where the circulation is. Let's see if there's debris. Doesn't look anything like there's anything obvious when we look at the debris indicator. It did, though, if we back this up to when it was crossing Highway 37 and right around Center Ridge. There is a debris signature right there. That was at 9:05. So we move forward in time, smaller debris signature, but I think it was still there as it crossed the highway and now transitions to the east of Center Ridge. And then we go forward in time. It's not obvious, but there could be something right there, right around County Road 99 and north of County Road 78. And then as it moves into Bay Springs, again, nothing that's obvious. So that's a good sign. But I think the latest characterization from the National Weather Service is that it's still an observed tornado. So I'm going to query this just to make sure that that is still the case. And the latest update came out at 9:12. Okay, the update that came out at 9:12 says it's a radar indicated rotation. So that's a change in the characterization here. I think once we stop seeing those debris signatures that were pretty obvious right about this time. Again, I think the last one was when it was right about here at about 9:12, 9:13, right around County Road 90 and 78. But then after that, we don't see anything in terms of a debris signature. So because of that, it's not confirmed anymore by radar. And even though the tornado warning continues, it's a radar indicated rotation. Still, it's a dangerous storm. It's produced a tornado before. There's nothing to say that it couldn't produce another one. And because we still have that prominent circulation right there, right around the Bay Springs area, and it's holding together, because of that, a new tornado warning has been issued farther downstream to the east to include the rest of Jasper County. Let's go